Ladies and gentlemen, I thought I could step away to take a little break, recover a little bit from work. And suddenly all this news just starts flooding in this past week, and DKO just a step above in the last day here. We're going to get into this UI Goku head sculpt that is not just only a head sculpt at this point. It was supposed to be two head sculpts and 8 expressions. Now, he stuck to that, but he added in a nice little surprise here. So let's get into this next screen. He's making a full-on Ultra Instinct Goku figure. I truthfully would never have expected that. And I mean, at this point, I guess I really should, because it seems like a lot of these studios are starting to come out the gate to do more than just head sculpts. We have HM, who's now got the Has Studio Future Gohan, which we will talk about that in another video, because that's just incredible. And from what I've seen quality wise, I mean, it's pretty good. It's a very tight figure, but the fact that it's like direct to release after its reveal, like impressive. Full on impressed. But we have DKO here doing an Ultra Instinct Goku figure. And if you just look at the body structure, the scheme of the articulation for it, it is definitely an amalgamation of, some other companies, brands. And I would say obviously noticeable is for sure Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi, definitely in the legs there. And the torso, I would say it's kind of like Revoltech style, but it's not at the same time. And I want to say it's similar to what TK did, but it's also not. But when I look at like the arms and stuff, it kind of gives me a feel from what I've seen from the old Romanki bodies, like in that same, elbow bend at the bicep and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know if Romanki was the first group to use that kind of arm structure. I'm sure they're not, but it's just what drives me back to think about it. Still though, this looks pretty damn cool. Now, of course, I got to see how it articulates and everything before I truthfully can give my judgments on it. The same I've been saying about VitoForge and their Goku Black, and they finally did a showcase for it, which we'll talk about in another video. But yeah, just looking at these pictures so far, assuming this is, real prototype, not like rendered images, which I'm assuming they're prototype images. Yeah, it's looking pretty damn good. And I'm assuming the feet there is just like a placement, placeholder or something like that out the box, if they keep that like that. Because the feet, they clearly have the articulation with the ball, ball peg and whatnot. But yeah, these things look freaking dope. So let's jump into looking at the full on render, because this is the juicy part. Okay. So we got the 2 head sculpts, you've got multiple bangs, and then you've got the 8 expressions. So he's cool on that, and I trust DKO to make some really good expressions, especially if these are supposed to more match like the manga, which that's really all they should be referencing, because it hasn't been animated yet. But it looks like, and this could just be like the render phase of it. I don't know if this is what they're truthfully gonna do, but it kind of looks like they're just taking bits and pieces from some other releases from some other studios, which I don't really see a problem with in this kind of scheme. We've got the gi, the torn gi from Air, which released like last year or a little bit more than a year ago. On the aftermarket, I mean, it's not the worst, but also it's kind of hard to find, I think, too, for some decent pricing around what it was retail. I mean, unless you find it from a good store. But you also have the KamiOne Blast Effect, which comes in yellow for the Gogetas. This one is coming in like a blue, which I personally don't mind. I personally would have preferred if the ones that came with the KamiOne Gogeta were blue, but you know what? He went with yellow. And then we have some aura effects that kind of give the energy flow for Ultra Instinct as well on the other variants, it looks like. So in total, it looks like there'll be 4 different variants. For each design, you get the option to have your, silver or your more white colored hair. Truthfully, I'm pretty excited for these. I'm not considering getting all of them. I probably will just get one, assuming, the figure is not going to be like 2 years out. We don't know that timetable yet. He did have like a 220 thing up here, which I'm not sure if that just means like a full-on reveal, pre-order, like I really don't know. There is very little information about this at this time, so we're kind of all just waiting to see what the next update will be. But I think he's got us all starstruck with the fact that it's a full figure, if anything. And I mean, I'd love to see it compared to an SHF. That's kind of the other thing I know a lot of people would want to see is where does it scale in that range? Is it bigger, smaller, or about the same? Because I'm sure you guys have seen that damn, Kong Studios Mythos Anime Goku. And yes, they unfortunately follow their own scale. That's just not going to change. But it is a bigger figure for sure. But yeah. Nothing more to say, just shock and awe. That's really all I can say about it. Would love to see it in prototype form, full articulation and everything. I mean, I think there's another couple pictures here. Yeah, nothing too crazy, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see what DKO shows us in the future. But that's not it. There's more. So if you haven't also seen RE Customs, Ultra Ego, Ultra Vegito 1. Those sets are out and about. They did release in China. Chinese New Year is going on. So, I mean, a lot of the stores are on break. So, if you're waiting for your shipment to come, unfortunately, you're going to have to wait a little longer. And that's me. I'm sitting here watching everybody enjoy their freaking Ultra Ego and Ultra Vegito 1 head sculpts. And, yeah, I've got to sit here and look at my Daima Vegeta with nothing on them because I'm just being patient, just waiting. But yeah, that's out and about. Hobby model store, I think still has some. Aliexpress right now is kind of a shit show for it because the prices are a little higher. So I would say act fast because yeah, they're going. Other than that though, surprisingly DKO, and I'm gonna say RE Custom even though it's pretty much people saying DKO. They work together from my understanding. They're doing Gogeta head sculpts as well, which I'm a little shocked by. They have another Goku project that they're doing, which let me go back to the other screen here. It's called The Last Duel. I don't know the status of this one. We've not really seen anything on it yet. But for my very, very, very quick research on this one, it's like 198 yuan, I think. So probably like $30 if you're buying straight from Chinese, stores. Otherwise, I mean, it's probably going to be boosted up a tad, through AliExpress. Of course, it'll be on Omnime. If you order through Omnime, you're just not going to get it as fast as everybody else. That's the easiest expectation I can set for you. You'll get it just eventually. They ship from the US, so they got to get their shipment first, and then they ship from their own warehouse. That's usually how that goes. But Final Tombs of Light, I have to say, I'm not overly like, I need this, but it definitely satisfies that more Z looking feel. And we do have two other studios, which I believe it's ZH and GM Studio, which, they both look okay. Not really 100% what I'm looking for, but at the same time, I did like that GM's face, their faces were cross-compatible with Tonson's, or KamiOne, I should say, and vice versa. So you had a little bit more options there. The ZH ones, I'm not really like overly, interested in personally, but I am glad to see that there's options available for people who want different types of sculpts, different styles. And with this, for my, again, very early research, sounds like second, third quarter of the year is when it could come out. We don't know. Those things are subject to change. So I just say it comes out when it comes out. We'll hope for the updates as it comes along. Probably will not see anything super crazy. I think we need to see the Last Duel stuff first before we see anything here. But there are two variants, A and B. You're going to get your Pearl Scent and your matte colors. So with that being said, there isn't too much else to put on the floor right now when it comes to DKO RE Custom. But they for sure have me enveloped in this whole thing they're doing. The head sculpts, the figure, like I'm very excited to kind of see studios step out of their usual shell. You got DKO stepping out from doing head sculpts to now a full figure. You have HM, which I don't know for sure. I have to go check with other people or just check around for some research on it. I'm very curious to see if that future Gohan is a reason why everything just got so pushed back. I'm really curious because the game's being Goku, like for as long as it's been out, when it got out on the factory floor, like early, I was pretty confident somebody was going to try to do something with that. And it's possible to have reproduced that and done way more different things. So Future Gohan on the docket now, it gets me pretty excited for maybe some possible other products in the future. Best way to put it. Anyways, trying to keep these videos a little more, what's the word? I don't know. Trying to keep them a little shorter. That's the best word I can put. So you're not watching a 40-minute video. So with this, we'll leave it at our DKO and RE Custom. Next video, one of them will be about VitoForge and them finally showing off this freaking Goku Black after all this time, along with some other stuff with, Kongo Studios and other studios and all their good stuff like has Future Gohan. So look forward to those. Check out the descriptions in the comments, the pinned comment description. Check out the Discord. If for any reason, like times now, where I'm off for a week or something and I'm just not available to post right then and there, the news does circulate very, very quick. That Discord is there's people from many different time zones and they're probably sharing the same information. So be in there. It's a good space to talk about third party and more. Check it out down below. And if you're not already in the newsroom, Courier also does share trusted stores. They host they're in pretty good communication with a lot of the stores on Aliexpress that want to work with them, give them updates and stuff like that. So we do have our newsroom where that stuff goes directly if you want trusted stores to buy from. So with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.